Hello all. I'm Aniket from Cloud9 Infosystems, and today I'm going to talk about how we can build mobile and web applications to solve business problems really fast using Microsoft PowerApps. I'm going to share my desktop. Just give me a moment. Can everybody see my desktop? Yeah? Okay. So we're going to build apps really fast using PowerApps. Uh, So what are we going to learn today? We're going to learn why Power Apps, what Power App lets us do. We're going to look at some use cases, and we're going to have a short little demo to show you the power of Power Apps. So I'm pretty sure all of you all will agree with me today that the way we work is fundamentally different than just a few years ago. Work happens on phones, tablets, laptops, everywhere we go, whether we are on manufacturing floors, in a flight, or in customer meetings. The mobile revolution, together with nearly limitless compute and data in cloud, has transformed our entire professional experience. But though, having said that, the reality is that apps we use to do business have been slow to keep pace with employee demand. While companies are increasingly turning to SaaS solutions for specific scenarios like CRM, HR, travel, using services like Microsoft Dynamics, Concur, or Workday, most business app scenarios still remain locked on premises dependent on corporate connected PCs. Most of them are not even optimized for mobile and probably cannot be integrated to other services, and most importantly are not accessible by everybody when they need it the most, right? So the question that we have to ask is not why power apps, but why is this innovation gap between business applications and consumer applications? So there's a big huge gap in richness and ubiquity between these two categories. So why is that, is the real question that we need to ask today. The three main problems that I figured out. First one, we don't have enough skilled mobile developers. It is predicted that through 2017, the market demand for mobile app development services will grow at least 5 times faster than what our IT departments can deliver. And hey, we developers know how difficult all that is, right? So that's the reality, guys, today, that we do not have skilled mobile developers in the market to build business solutions really fast. The second problem is business data proliferation. So with we have data now, businesses are moving, like I said, businesses are moving to SaaS solutions. So we have data spanning from on-prem systems to beyond firewall and in SaaS clouds and whatnot. So with data stored in so many systems, it is becoming difficult to connect to and consume the related data from one particular solution. That's another problem that we are facing today. And the third is IT agility and app sharing. So we all use mobile, so we all know that this app distribution typically happens through app stores. We have our Apple's App Store, we have the Microsoft Store, we have the Google Play Store. There is an inherent friction in getting these apps from development to the hands of each and every employee. So what next? So today I am really excited to introduce Microsoft Power Apps as a unique solution to these problems. Power Apps is an enterprise service for innovators everywhere to connect, create, and share business apps within your team on any device within minutes. So what does Power App lets us do? Right? The first thing, Power Apps will let you use built-in connections or the ones that your company has already built to connect your apps to cloud services such as Office 365, Dynamics CRM, Salesforce, Dropbox, or OneDrive. It even allows you to connect to on-prem systems, something such as SharePoint, SQL Server, Oracle databases, SAP, and many, many more. Power Apps will help us quickly create applications that work on any device using a Microsoft Office like experience. When I say that, I mean that we have templates to get started really quickly. We have visual designers to automate our flows. So once you know Power Apps, it will be as simple as using any Microsoft Office tool like PowerPoint or Excel or even Word for that matter. And the third thing is share and publish these applications. It is as simple as sharing a Word document today. You simply just type in the email address of the person you want to share it with, and voila, the co-workers can take advantage of an app you created right there. Having said all this does not mean that our work for developers is we are going out of business. That's not what I'm saying. The Power Apps lets developers extend the capabilities of a particular application. We can use Power Apps in scenarios like we can build more data connections. We can have APIs on Power App. We can embed a Power App solution into our existing business solutions. We can use Power Apps to leverage the capabilities of Azure, AWS, or any other cloud services in order to get native web and mobile applications into the hands of each and every employee faster than ever. So Microsoft has been partnering closely with a number of customers and partners such as Toro, Bose, Metrobank, Trans Alta, and IPS in order to ensure that their vision of Power Apps addresses their need for business agility. Customers have built solutions ranging from a recruiting app for an internal team to a mobile app for banking employees that connect to their CRM data. And customers are realizing the impact of Power Apps on their business. One such example that we're going to look today is TransAlta. TransAlta is an electricity power generator and wholesale marketing company that built a Power App solution which connected to 11 different data sources. Using this real-time data, they were able to generate prescribed actions, create audit trails, and then use that data to generate Power BI reports for their managers. That is the power of Power App, which you can integrate into many, many different solutions you already have. Another example that we have today is IPS. It's an integrated power services. They are into generator and motor repairing company. So they used Power Apps to redesign and digitize their paper-based processes to automate equipment repair logging using Power Apps. So having said that, now let's move on to a small little demo. Has anybody ever worked with Power Apps before? Just good question.
Yes, I have.
No?
Yes.
Okay, no worries. Uh, so for the demo today, I'm going to show you all a couple of features that we can seamlessly implement using Power Apps. Uh, we are going to build an employee engagement survey app, which can probably be used by HR departments, to send out surveys to all their employees to better understand their needs, right? So to let me just. Okay, so Ken has worked with it. That's great. So yeah, you will be able to see how I'm pretty sure you're gonna agree to whatever I say and forth on the Power Apps thing. So there are two ways to start off. There are two ways to access Power Apps. One is you go to your Office 365 portal, and in the app list you see Power Apps listed down over here. And the second way is to go to your Microsoft Store over here and download the desktop version of Power Apps onto your computers. Today we're just going to use the web portal. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, doesn't matter if you're using a Windows PC or a Mac PC. The platform doesn't matter since you can use Power Apps from your web directly. So once you click on this, you're gonna this it's gonna open up into the Microsoft Power Apps portal, which looks something like this. You are having a list of applications, the recent apps that you have worked with. You have learning guide, some guided learning solutions from Microsoft, which you can go through. You have a list of connections here, which you can check out the way I was saying before, that you can connect to a lot number of third party as well as Microsoft services on the cloud. So you can see some examples that I can show you. There are about 160 plus services that we can connect to. You can see Azure AD. We can see some well-known connectors, something like Dynamics 365, Dropbox. We have Salesforce. We have Facebook. You can connect to your social media. We have Google Drive, OneDrive, and many, many, many more. The list just goes on. You can check it out. Uh, Today, so I'm having an engagement survey app that I've created the template, and believe me, it just took me hardly 15-20 minutes to create the template. The moment you click on the edit button, it is going to open up into a visual designer kind of a UI. It's something similar to what we see in our other Office applications. So on the left side panel, we see all the screens that we have in our application. So I'm going to be creating an employee engagement survey app, right? This app basically connects and retrieves data from an Excel sheet that I've stored in my OneDrive. I can quickly just show you the Excel sheet as well. So this is my OneDrive, and I'm having an Excel sheet stored here called data. Uh, I'm going to connect my Power App to this Excel sheet and retrieve some data. So this is a survey app, so I'm going to ask a couple of questions to my employees, right? So in the app, I'm going to ask 5 questions. So I've just listed down all the 5 questions. There are 4 tables total in this Excel sheet. The options table gives me the options for each and every question that I want to provide to my users. There is a responses table. Now this is where it gets really interesting. I can record the responses given by each and every user of the app, and I can store it in this Excel sheet for further analysis, right? And then there's a welcome note table, which I'll show you, which I'll show you in a minute how I'm going to use. So let's dive down into the Power App here. So this is my first screen. This is going to be my home screen, and I'm just going to quickly show you how a couple of things that we can do. So what do I want on my home screen? I don't know. Let's go to our insert tab over here and add a text label. Okay, let's just add a text label. And what do I want this text label to show? I wanted to say welcome, right? I want to say welcome. For my developers here, you must be aware of a couple of functions that I'm going to introduce you all over here. Very simple functions, very straightforward functions. The first one that I'm going to use over here is something that everybody must have seen, that is concatenate. So I'm going to concatenate 2 strings. I'm going to say welcome. I'm going to say welcome Aniket. So let's say, okay, I'm going to say whoever is the user who logged in. Okay, so whoever is the logged in user dot the full name of that user. Okay, so I'm going to say, and that's it. That's it. I'm going to change. Let's change the color. So the right hand side panel allows you to create, to edit each and every box. So you can change the color, you can change the width, the font, just like we do in Word or Excel. Let's make it white. Okay, and like you see over here, see this, see welcome Aniket Dwani. So now this is for any user who logs in. So if Ken you log in, it's going to be welcome Ken, right? Let's have another label that we put here, which probably says, I'm not going to add any function for this. I'm just going to say then what it is, employee engagement survey. Okay, I'm going to put it into but it's a string. Okay, let's change it to white as well. Okay, you can do all kinds of editing, you can extend it, we can go into the advanced tab here, we can change the if you go into more options, we can change the size, the font size. You see the font, the size. So we can probably change the size to, I don't know, say 60 or something. Okay, yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna add one more label. Why not, right? Let's add one more label and say that the estimated time is, I don't know, 5 minutes. We have 5 questions for this survey, so let's have it 5 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna put this in quotes as well, so that it's a string. And again, a couple of changes. You can edit it. So this is all about text files, text labels that you can add. Something interesting that might really pop your eyes up for the developers especially is adding a button. Okay, I'm gonna have a button. I'll say, okay, so what do I want this button to do? I want, when I click on this button, I want the user to, or the app to go to my next screen, right? The next screen being the landing screen. So I'm just gonna add one more function. So this is one more function that I'm introducing you guys to, and that is navigate. So you see how easy and simple and straightforward even the function names are. So where do I want to navigate? I want to navigate to my next screen, which is my landing screen. And how do I want my screen to transition? I want the screen to transition. I usually go with the fade one because it gives a more app kind of feeling. So that's it. That's all that you need. And if I can change what the button says here. I can say get started. Okay. You can even change the text on the right hand side from the panel. Like I said, you can do all kinds of editing. Let's see how it works. Okay. So this is how the screen is going to look on your mobile phones. If I click on the button, it should take me to the next screen. This is my next screen, which we are going to set up right now. Now I'm going to show you how we can connect and retrieve data from the Excel sheet, right? So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go to view data sources and connect to a data. You have to go to add sources and new connection, and then you can look for whichever data source that you have kept your data file in. So for now, like I said, I've stored this Excel sheet in my OneDrive. So I'm going to go and look up for OneDrive for business over here. And I'm going to select and connect to it, right? So I'm going to say OneDrive for business, and I'm going to, it will ask you to log in, of course. You will have to give your OneDrive credentials or your Office credentials, and then connect to that data source. Connect to the data source. You see this? So I'm going to say, click on this, create, and then it's going to ask me for my credentials, and it's going to create a new data connection to that data source. For now, for this demo purpose, I will not, because I have already connected to the data source. And the moment I connect to the data source, it will let me navigate. I will have to navigate to the file where I've saved it, and I will see a list of all the tables that we had in that Excel sheet. Okay, so like I showed you before, the data file over here, it had 4 tables: questions, options, responses, and a welcome note table. That's what it shows me in the Power App here. It shows me the options, questions, responses, and the welcome note table that I've connected to. Once you have your connection set up, now we can very easily go and retrieve all kinds of things and do all kinds of things with the data that we have over there. So a simple example, just to show you all, I can add a label and say I want to show or display the welcome note that I'm having in this welcome note table that I'm having. I'm having a welcome message and a welcome title. You could have just added a simple text label the way we did on the previous screen, but I'm just showing this so that you get an idea how we connect to our database, right? To our Excel sheet. So I'm going to introduce you all to one more new function called lookup function. And what do I want to look up? I want to look up to the welcome note table, right? I'm going to look up to the welcome note table. I want to look up where, so that you see Power Apps automatically gives you all the column names in that particular table, right? So we go to ID, and we say wherever my ID is equal to 1, I want to retrieve the welcome title. Okay, so basically what I did was, this function does is it comes to this Excel sheet, goes and finds the row where my ID is equal to 1 and retrieves the welcome message, or sorry, the welcome title in this case, right? So here you go. That's my welcome title. Let's do a couple of changes to it. Let's change its font size so that it's much more, it's better readable. So I go here, I change the font size to, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I pressed the backspace too much. Okay. Oh, that just did undo. Okay, that's what I did. I'm so sorry about that. Let's do that again. You go to the text, you say lookup. What do I want to look up? I want to look up the welcome note table. I want to say whether my ID is equal to 1, give me the welcome title, right? I'm going to go into advanced, go into size, font size, and I'm going to change the size to say 44. I'm going to arrange it. Simple drag and drop. But just to show you again, let me just add one more label which retrieves the welcome message that we want to show. Okay, the same thing. We're just going to say lookup again, welcome note where my ID is equal to 1, but this time I want to retrieve the welcome message. Okay, there you go. So this is how our screen looks now. The survey consists of 5 questions. The progress is tagged at the top of each screen. That's my welcome message. So basically, we are retrieving data from this Excel sheet. We retrieve the welcome title and then the welcome message. Now moving forward, moving to the next screen. Now these back and next buttons are similar to the get started button that I showed you before. All that they have is a function called navigate back to the home screen with a transition of fade or something. Okay. This is the first question that I want to show you. Okay, so this is this what is your role? This is a question that I retrieved from the data questions table. In a similar manner, I just retrieved the first part, okay, where my ID is equal to 1. Now I want to give multiple options to the user, so I'm going to show you a couple of controls that we can add. Say I want to add a radio control over here. Okay, a radio control lets us select one option, right? Everybody knows that. So how do I populate this radio control? I'm going to introduce one more function over here to y'all. That is a filter function. The filter function, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I want to connect to my options table. Okay, and I want to give the options for the first question, right? So when my question ID basically is equal to 1. And the real trick here is just go here and what value do I want to print or show? I want to show the options text. And there you go. You have the options listed down over here. Now this all might be a little bit overwhelming for some of y'all who have not worked with Power Apps, and you might be thinking, how do I know all these filters and etc. But these are pretty straightforward, and once you start using it, you will see how easy it is and how straightforward everything works. So this is how my first question looks. Moving on to the next question here. So same thing with the next question. I'm having the second question that I've pulled out from the data. I want to give some other control. Let me show you a list box. So you see how Power Apps also gives you a quick summary of what that thing does. So a list box lets users choose one or more items from a list. Okay, so I'm going to add a list box here. Why? Because the question is asking which department, what departments you work with. So it's quite possible that an employee can work for multiple departments, right? So I'm going to give an option to connect to multiple departments. So this is again going to be similar. I'm going to have a filter function. I'm going to filter to my options table where my question ID now is equal to 2. I want to show the options text in this case again. So that's how it is. Let's see that. You see all the questions. You can select multiple options here. Similarly, I have done other questions also. I've given other controls here. So you see a slider control over here. We are having a slider control. We have many controls. We can add a drop down. We can add a combo box, a date picker, etc. So I've added a slider over here with the minimum value of 1, maximum value of 24, and default of 12. So based on the requirements, you can customize the app the way you want. There's another radio button that I've added, and then a comment section. Okay, so hey, that's it. So let's just go and run the app and see how it works. Okay, so okay, let's get started. Okay, I see the welcome message and the welcome title. I'm gonna click next. Okay, so what's my role? I don't know. I'm a team lead or something. Okay, I select it. I say next. So what departments do you work for? I say I work for the I don't know, customer service department and the accounting department. Okay, and I say next. How many hours do I work using email? 12 hours. Okay, that's cool. Do you see yourself working here in 1 year? I hope my boss doesn't hear this, but okay, yes, I do. And then let's go on next. I don't want to add any comments. Okay, let's say Power Apps is good. I'm just making it up. Okay. I said, so it's loading on the top. And once it's done, it's like done. Okay. Thank you, Aniket. Done. Look for the next month's survey in your inbox. Now let's see if the app actually worked. Okay. Let's go to our uh, data file here and see if we have that response stored. Voila. See here. This is here. Here you go. So this was the response that I gave. So it's already stored in our Excel sheet. We can use it for many other purposes like reporting or however you want to use it, right? And you can just use it the way we want it. Coming back to the deck. So that was about it. That was the demo that I wanted to show you all. I wanted to that just gave a brief introduction and to how and what the Power Apps environment looks like, what we can do with it, and I hope that you liked what it is. Of course, we can do many more things and many more capabilities that we can add to Power Apps, which I did not show, but you can of course look into it or contact me for knowing if you want to know more. Contact Cloud Manager. So yeah, so let's summarize whatever we learned today. First thing that we learned is build modern business apps really fast. So the same employee engagement survey app, if I try to build in Android Studios or for iOS, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take for an amazing developer also, it might take at least probably, I don't know, a day or so, right? To build it and share it and deploy it and everything. Whereas I hardly took 15 to 20 minutes to build this application right in front of you. I can share it immediately. Okay. The second thing is, like I showed you, there is no much coding required in building a Power App. So you can empower our Power users to build business solutions without writing any code, really. Again, as I said, this does not make our developers go out of business. So of course, we can improve the efficiency of our IT departments by involving our developers and IT to enhance and make our Power Apps even better by adding more capabilities, more functionalities based on your business requirements. And of course, seamlessly share all these useful applications within your organization quickly, really quickly. My understanding is that Power Apps will dramatically accelerate how business apps are built, reducing time to solutions from weeks to months to minutes, and empowering a new category of app creators. It balances power between IT and business users, arming those closest to the business needs with tools and services to not just envision but also implement the solutions. It moves what has been for decades a set of scenarios that typically only run on on-prem with PCs to being centered in the cloud and delivered mobile first. To learn more about Power Apps, contact Cloud9, and thank you so much for being there. Thank you.
Thank you, Aniket. That was a wonderful webinar. Just a few housekeeping stuff I wanted to talk to the attendees. I request all of you to send in your the city and state you are located in currently. If you can just type it in the chat box. This information will help us determine the best possible timings for our future webinars going forward. And also, if you can share your email IDs to the chat window, we can send in the deck and the recording once we are ready with it. So thanks again, and I will hand this over to Bert to talk about our assessments.
Thanks everybody for joining. Quickly about the Azure assessment, which is a Microsoft Cloud9 joint investment. So what this is that it's a consulting service available for your organization, and depending upon your company, your organization, it may be completely free to you, and you can use this consulting hours and engagement for, let's say we are exploring to migrate some workloads to cloud and you would like to get a roadmap. What's the best practice to do that? Maybe you're looking something in the Power BI space and building analytics, or BI roadmap, or even just a SQL upgrade. You are thinking from a on-prem to cloud, or just SQL or 2008 or 12 to 2016. So any of those areas that you see on the screen are potentially available for your organization to tap into. And as I said, this could be absolutely free if you're based on the company you are related to. So if you're interested, my email address is there, birdp@cloudinfosystems.com. Reach out to us and we'll more than happy to guide you the next steps there. All right, with that, thank you, and hope to see you 2 weeks from now. And the next topic is about the new app within the Microsoft Office word called Microsoft Flows. Thanks. See you.